Welcome to the July 3rd, 2024 Municipality of Monroeville Zoning Hearing Board. Would you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence? Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And just as a reminder, please make sure your cell phones are either turned off or silenced for the meeting. Good evening, Sharon. How about roll call, please?
Mr. Gatos?
Here?
Mr. D'Agostino?
Here?
Mrs. Wilkins?
Here.
Mr. Hutchison?
Here.
Mr. Whitfield? Mr. Dice?
Here.
Mr. Weldon?
Here. Okay, thanks, Sharon. And the approval of the minutes from the May 1st, 2024 meeting. Any changes or any edits to the notes? Anybody?
Nope.
And can I have a motion for approval of those minutes, please?
I'll make a motion for approval.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Approved. Okay, thank you. And Paul, new business, please.
All right, our only item tonight is 24-10-A, John Caldwell. Applicant requests a special exception as per Article 12, Section 1211C1, apiaries of the Monroeville zoning ordinance number 2779 to establish an apiary or a beehive colony. The property is located at 4412 Gateway Drive, tax parcel 854G069 in the R2 single/multifamily residential zoning district.
Okay. Is the applicant present?
That's me.
Come on up, please sign in.
I feel like I'm going on what's my line.
Okay, if you would please just state your name for Sharon and spell it for her, please, for the records.
It's John Caldwell, Caldwell. Even whenever I'm sick, I'm still Caldwell. Right.
And I need you to raise your right hand, please. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in this matter?
I absolutely do.
Great, thank you, and proceed.
For some time, I've wanted to, whenever I was a kid, I used to keep a beehive up in Boyce Park. And my dad was allergic to bees, couldn't have them. Now, for some time, I've wanted to set up a couple apiaries, so is my wife. So we just finally decided to do it. And that brings us to today. Now, I should say that my wife called last year before this new ordinance was enacted to go through the zoning board hearing. And she was told at that time, because it was October, that we didn't have to do anything. Subsequently, I ordered my bees. Now, bees are not something you just go out and buy them.
Right.
You know, anytime you want, there's a time frame that these things have to be done. So I already do have the bees. And nobody has complained, nobody said anything. There was one concern from the one woman down the street who is, very allergic to bees. And after discussing with her, it arose that they aren't actually bees, which most people are afraid of bees, but they're not bees. They're the yellow jackets or the ground bees. And those actually are not bees. They're a member of the wasp family, but they are black and yellow, so the bees get bad rep. And they are aggressive. Bees tend to be very docile.
Right, exactly. Okay. I know there's various items within the code to follow and so forth, and sense of distances and so forth. Have you accomplished all those different things in the code in sense of distance from side yards and those kind of things and so forth?
Yeah. I took all the classes. I mean, I have all the documentation of graduating classes, getting my license from the state, all that type of stuff.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I'm trying to do this as above board as
Where are
absolutely
the
possible.
bees tonight?
Where are the bees tonight? They're in their hive.
Okay, so you already have the hive up?
Yes, I do. Yeah, like I say, once it gets started, because of the time constraints, you kind of have to do it. And it's not exactly a small investment, it's several $100s. So, you can't just order them and say, oh crap, I didn't know about this, and just chuck them.
Where are the bees from?
They're actually from a local apiary. The gentleman raises them over in Plum. Festa Family Farms, I believe is what it is. Whenever you get bees, there's three ways basically you can get them. You can get what's called a nucleus, and that's like the beginning of a hive. It has your queen and some workers and some drones. You put that together, and then they breed, and that expands into your hive. You can order them by the pound, like a 3-pound bag of them, online or via mail. Or you can get a swarm. If somebody says, oh, I have a swarm of bees in my yard, you can collect them and put them in a hive. So these ones...
So what you have now, it can just keep growing then, from what you're saying?
Well, they'll grow. They're like goldfish. They'll grow to their environment. If they get too big, they'll split and go off, and then I can either put in another hive for those ones, or they'll go off to their do all over the place.
So how many hives do you have now?
I do have 2.
And how many do you want to have?
I don't want to get any more than 4. Which, I mean, my yard, we have a little over ½ acre, I guess. So, I'd like to keep it to, 2 or 3. And if I get more than that, then I'll do like the one guy that I got them from. I'll say, hey, I've got bees, anybody that needs some, and sell them.
Have you gotten any honey from them yet?
Not yet. I'm not sure that I will this year, because, the honey is what they eat in the wintertime. Wintertime, there are no flowers or anything for them to get the pollen and the nectar, so they need the honey to sustain themselves. So if my hives are productive enough, then yes, I'll get honey, but that's to be determined.
Okay.
Next year, I'm definitely hoping to get some. I better, because I've got a great big thing that spins the honey out.
So where in your yard are the hives located at? Do you have a drawing or picture or something, or?
This is my yard, and the house is up here. This is the street. House is up here, backyard. They're probably located about here in the back.
Okay, so they're in the back of the house, not in the front?
They're in the back of the house, yes. It's not an eyesore or something to cause people to drive by and freak out.
They're in the middle of your yard then?
No, actually, more towards the back.
Well, I know that, but in the backyard,
yeah,
in
and-
the middle
yeah,
of the house,
centrally
so not
located.
close to either neighbor,
No, they're right in the middle.
and no issues with either neighbor?
No, they're all fine with it. They have no concerns. The neighbor's kids have been over and looked at them,
Are you gonna be the main beekeeper then, or is anyone else gonna be
my
handling
wife
bees?
and I.
And is she certified?
Not yet, no.
You plan on being certified?
Why don't you put your name on the record?
But for the day-to-day keepings and, that sort of stuff,
You're the main
I'll
keeper?
be doing it, yeah.
So how often do the hives have to be attended to?
Every couple of days, generally. It was surprising to me to find out how many diseases there are for the bees. There are bee diseases, nothing that's gonna be, communicable to pets or animals or people or anything. Some of which can be, quite devastating, and really the only way to get rid of it is to burn the hive, because it's so virulent. But basically, you have to check on that and make sure that things are just going as you should. You just,
So it's relatively low maintenance.
yes, it is, yeah.
So, I don't think any of us really know much about how this works, but so when there are bees in the hive, do they fly around and leave the
Yeah,
hive,
oh,
then
yeah.
and then come back?
Correct, yeah, yeah. Would you hand that? This is, you've probably seen beehives,
Yes.
the square boxes. This is what goes in them. This would be in the top part, and then there are bigger ones about this big that go in the bottom. And that's where the brood is, or the nesting colony is in the bottom. Goes in the top, and you can feel like it's plastic with beeswax, or beeswax
Okay.
coating. And that's one. They'll build up on that, and that's whenever they get the honeycombs, and that's what they'll fill with honey. And then they put a cap on it, and so then you have to take the cap off and spin it out.
So is this year-long, or is it?
Oh, no, it's a
seasonal?
year-long.
It's
thing.
year-long.
Yeah, now, in the wintertime, there's really not much to do because they're pretty much hibernating. They will come out if need be, they can. It's not like they're sleeping like bears or anything, but they, for the most part, it's a year-long thing. You have to make sure you can, a lot of times you have to put, it's called bee bread or pollen patties or something that you can put in the hive to sustain them, to help sustain them through the wintertime.
Do you have any pictures or anything that you can share with us what your hive looks like now?
I do not. Yeah, I think I do. This really isn't a great picture of it because I was trying to figure out what was going on. And like,
Well, once you find it,
Yeah.
there's an X in the middle of the desk there. If you could place on there, you can zoom in on it so we can see
Okay.
it. Whenever you find it, that's
Sure.
fine.
And Paul, there wasn't anything from any neighbors or any response? or
No
anything?
correspondence in favor or opposed.
What's wrong?
I mean, they're just essentially white boxes, right?
Yeah.
2 feet by 2 feet, 4 feet tall, something like that.
There's it in the middle,
Set it right in the middle.
right in the middle, there's an X.
Oh, right here?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Give them a second.
Now, this isn't the best picture because
No, it works.
right down here at the very bottom,
Okay.
that's where they go in and out. Now, I have, it's called a restrictor, and it keeps things like mice and stuff from getting in that can cause damage. It ended up, it was too small, so I had to take it out. That's why the bees are all congregated like that in mass over the top of it, because they just weren't able to get in. So now that that's gone,
Is that sitting on cinder blocks?
yes, yeah.
So you have two of those.
I have two of them. This is actually two sections. This bottom part here is the part that I was talking about, is the brood.
Okay.
And then this upper one is where the honey will be. And then the lid lifts off. There's, varying components to it. I have a diagram here, if you guys want to take a look at it. This basically gives all the dimensions, and there, do you want me to put those?
Yeah, you can put up there, that's fine. Thank you.
Sure. Okay, yeah, this section is the brood. This is called an excluder. Year-round, you let the bees do whatever they want. The queen can go anywhere she wants. The queen is, the only males are the drones, and their job is to do nothing except for whenever it's time to mate with the queen. Then they go out, mate with the queen, and die. The rest of them are all females. But anyway, up until it's time to get the honey, that's whenever you put this excluder in, because the bees only live about 5 or 6 weeks. It's not a long lifespan. So whenever you put that excluder in, she can't get through up into the honey section, so you don't have to worry about having brood in with the honey whenever you go to get the honey out.
Is there just one queen per hive or one
Yes.
queen?
Yeah, there's just one queen per hive. There have been instances where there've been two, but they usually don't get along well. If the
That's
bees
pretty much
notice,
true of most women. Most women have that problem.
So if you're gonna have 3 or
I
4,
don't
you
mean
need to
that.
buy
I'm
2
just-
more queens.
that's just
Make
a
sure
joke.
they
no,
tie to
actually,
that.
what they do is whenever the other workers notice that the queen isn't being as productive as she should be, a queen is a worker bee. You've probably heard of royal jelly.
Yeah.
Okay, they feed all of them royal jelly whenever they're born. Whenever they need a new queen, instead of stopping feeding the royal jelly, they just continue to feed it to her, and she then, through the wonders of modern science, becomes a queen. And so then they'll usually say, new queen in town, and kick the old queen out.
Sheriff in town, okay.
Yeah.
Got you. I appreciate the time explaining it to us.
Oh, sure. I mean, anything else you want to know? I found it absolutely I mean, I knew a lot
So
before I got into it.
you look to start selling honey then down the road?
I don't know if I'll sell it. You know,
I just think they're fascinating is all.
they really use it to bribe the neighbors. You know, hey, Tom, I need a hand doing this. Here, have it.
I have one last question.
I live
Please.
down the street.
How much honey comes from a hive? Is it,
You can get a lot. You can get up to 80 pounds of honey for a very productive hive
per year?
per year. No, that's, a lot of times these, it's not there. The bigger part, the broods on the
Yeah.
bottom, you end up putting 2 of those and then maybe two of the supers for the honey up on top. I have not progressed to that stage yet. A bee in its lifetime will produce about a 1/4 teaspoon of honey. So it takes, in order to get your pint of honey, that's about 960 bees work for their lifetime. Yeah, it's amazing what goes into it. And I took the course through Penn State. Penn State says it's about 80%. I've seen anywhere from 80 to 95% of the foodstuffs that we eat, whether it be animal or vegetable. If it weren't for the bees pollinating, we wouldn't have it. This wouldn't survive. And like I say, with the animals, of course, they forage on the greenery. And if it weren't the cattle and all those type of livestock, it really is absolutely fascinating.
Fascinating.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Do you have any other pets then?
Yes, we have a new puppy and 2 cats. And the puppy is really stupid and hasn't figured out that that really hurts whenever you bite them. She
How
doesn't
old?
seem to.
How old's your pup?
5 months. Yeah.
I
Yes.
have an 18-week pup, so.
Okay. Yeah, they're.
They'll learn quick.
Sure.
They'll learn quick.
He's not allergic because he's eaten a few.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, that's good.
There you go. Very good. Any other questions from on the board? Anybody in the audience that
You can-
has any?
You can pick this
No, I
up.
think it's a blessing because
You want to state your name?
worldwide,
You could come up and put your name on there, and
You have
wor-
to-
Sign.
worldwide
Your name, sir.
pollinating
Yep.
you need to sign in first. so that-
insect, okay.
And state your name.
State your name.
Eric Peterson. Worldwide insect
How about
population.
raising your right hand?
Thanks, Bruce. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in this matter?
Of course.
Thank you. Proceed.
Worldwide.
Pollinating bee populations are down in nature, and it's unfortunate. And when I spend some time out west in Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota, Wyoming, several other states, and every ranch I drive by has a giant stack of white boxes. They have to hire people to bring in the pollinators. It's not about the honey, it's about the crops. And it's that simple. And this is a blessing. For anyone that has anything that's perennial, or even certain annuals, you need that, you've gotta have that. And we don't, I'm sure everyone has the boring bees trying to punch holes in their house and doing all that stuff, but this is totally different, totally docile, totally, he could have 15 colonies, and it wouldn't make a darn difference. They go out about a mile away and they do what they do.
and they come back, they make honey, that's the byproduct. The actual product is anything that has to be pollinated for the next season, they do it, they handle it, that's it. And that's all I have to say.
Thank you.
It's a blessing
It's fascinating. Yeah,
that someone would
really
actually
is.
do this.
I could say
That's the way
I
I
learned a
look
lot
at it.
in the last 20 minutes because I didn't know any of this before, so.
Yeah, it's,
I always think bees are bees are stinging.
and this is a worldwide thing, I mean,
Yeah.
it's.
It is.
And it's an issue all over the world, and I'm so glad that someone's doing it.
I'll give you your $20 later.
Well, it's all fact, look it
It
up,
is. Okay.
look it up.
Anything else you'd like to add for your,
Nothing I can think of, I mean, I just.
Here's your
this-
board.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, less is more. You don't have to say anything else.
We're good.
we're good. All right. So we have no other questions here from the board. Can I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay.
I'll second that motion.
All right. All in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
Against? So approved, and congratulations and good luck.
Keep us updated.
Keep us up, yeah.
I like to hear more about it down the road once everything starts going.
I will.
Or we can ask her because she'll be down the street from you.
I'll smuggle you in some honey.
There you go.
We're one of those streets where we're like a big family out here.
True we are.
We're all just like
Good.
that there, so.
Good. Well, congrats.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate it.
Thank
very
you.
Thank
Great.
you.
Appreciate the education.
Good. Yeah, before we adjourn, just want to, just want to wish everyone happy Fourth. And if you have a chance to get out to the parade tomorrow for Monroeville, it starts at 9 o'clock. And rain or shine, it's supposed to be pretty decent weather, so, but enjoy the Fourth with family and friends. And with that, I'll take a motion for adjournment.
I make a motion for adjournment.
I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Have a happy Fourth. Good night.
Happy Fourth, happy Independence Day, everyone.